Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs. It is time for yet another Mangs Monday! Yes, it's the start of the week, and we will start it off in grand fashion. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. We're going to be having a short news and update segment today because I didn't really find anything important to cover this week. I do have some minor updates regarding my capture card, however. It is finally on its way and will arrive at the end of this week. Because of this, I might start my Awakening and Dual Strike Let's Plays a lot sooner than anticipated. If anyone has any news that is relevant to the channel that you want me to cover in this particular segment, such as the release of a new hack or information regarding Fire Emblem Fates, feel free to send me a mail at mangsandzerul@gmail.com. Just label the mail news so I know what mails to separate from the mail segments. So then we come to the part of the show where I'm going to be showcasing you guys something amazing, and boy do we have a treat for you today. So this is going to be a single video. It's not really a let's play per se, but maybe more like a mini-series. I'm going to be showing you guys a very short clip of a video made by the YouTuber Gast Station, also better known as Gasts. He is the creator of the Bloodlines hack, in case you didn't know, which I have also featured on this channel twice. So anyway, he's made sort of a new miniseries called What Happens In, where it's sort of like a parody, satire segment, where he talks about the plot of different Fire Emblem games. He's made one of Fire Emblem 7, and now he also recently made one of Fire Emblem 6, and I gotta say, it is fucking amazing. Just watch this.
So, this is what happens in Fire Emblem 6. This game takes place 20 years after FE7, and immediately starts off with King Zephiel bulldozing through Sakai and Ilia, and continuing on to the Lichen League where he intends to take control of them too. Okay, before we go on, can we just take a second to blame Jafar for this whole game? If it wasn't for him and his emotions with Nino, Zephiel would already be dead, and Hector would be alive. And everyone likes Hector. Nice job, Jafar, you killed Hector. After Roy helps his father fend off bandits attacking Castle Foray, Ellie Wood, who in this game is only slightly more useful than IGN's Fire Emblem Awakening tutorial video.
If you want, just have your smaller guys go in and pick off XP or the points from the HP from the guys, and then have Frederick come in and kill them.
Yeah.
As a Fire Emblem 6 fanboy, this is pure gold to me. I think it's so fucking well made. I watched it perhaps 20 times and I laugh every single time. So if you want to watch the whole thing, and you really should, go click the link in the video description to head over to his channel, give him a thumbs up, subscribe to his channel if you want to watch more Gasts, and you should, because he's pretty talented. And he is currently working on a similar video for Awakening, and boy, that's gonna be good. So yeah, tell him Mang sent you. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Alright, so then we come to the part of the show where we read a funny comment, and this week it comes in from Stefan13, and he says, "Grrr, foiled again. I will get the comment of the week eventually. Mark my words, commenters. I am coming for your popularity." So while I didn't exactly laugh at this, I kind of felt sorry for the guy. He tries so hard, you know. So yeah, good job. You're the commenter of the week. Hope you're happy now. And then it's time to look at a babe, and this week we will take a look at an evil babe, the best kind. I got a lot of comments on my Nino Spotlight about a certain woman looking smoking hot, and no, I'm not talking about Nino, sorry Nino fans, but rather her evil stepmother, Sonia! Now, while Sonia is as evil as they come, you can't argue that Nergal did an amazing job when he decided to make a morph designed to seduce her way into an organization. I mean, I feel sorry for Brendan Reed and his tragic fates, but holy shit, he got to tap that for years. Now, I have no idea how good morphs are in bed, but considering how dedicated Sonia is to her master, we can only assume she did everything she could to earn Brendan's affections. And I do mean everything. Now, Sonia might be cruel, wicked, terrible, awful, and all that, but I have a thing for bad girls, especially busty bad girls in tight corsets. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, then we come to the segment of the show where we read some fan mail, and we will be starting off with a short and sweet one today. It's from Zoma210, and he says, "Hey Mangs, it's me, Zoma210. You probably know how long I'm subscribed to you now, so I don't have any questions for you, but there is one thing I want you to do I think he was intending to say for me there. I want my name/mail next to our beloved Louise." Alright, so farewell, and don't ever change, my friend. See you in the comment section, Zoma. Yeah, he has been around for a very long time. I think like from the first year, really, if I remember correctly. I can actually go and check. The problem is I have to go all the way back to the bottom of my subscriber list, and that's gonna take a while. So yeah, thanks Soma. Nice to see a mail from you. Alright, so the second mail comes in from a guy named Darius, and he says, "Hello again, Mangs. I thought I'd let you know how great of a job you're doing with all the content you're making. It makes my day, as always. I'll ask you a few questions." Alright, so the first question is, what do you do to make an income? Maybe not a great thing to ask, but I'm really curious. I work a little bit in a kindergarten, a little bit at school, and I also work a little bit in a storage house. And of course, I do make a slight amount of money on my YouTube channel, not a lot, but a slight amount of money. And the dream is to one day go full YouTube. Having YouTube as my work would be pretty fucking kick-ass. But for that to happen, for me to like make a respectable living, I dare say at the rates I'm earning now, I'd need probably around 20,000 subs. If the rates continue, or if the pay continues to rise exponentially. So that means that if I have 5 times as many subs, I get 5 times the pay. Then I dare say I would need about 15 to 20,000 subscribers before I can actually make a living off this channel and I can actually quit my job. Now, what's great about that, when I eventually get there, if I get there, would be that if I could quit my job, I would have a lot more time to make videos. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I would pump up like 6 videos a day or something, because I think that would just bloat the channel with content and there would be way too much for people to actually watch, and I could actually lose subscribers from doing that. But what I could do is I could make really high quality videos. Like, people are really obsessed with the chat bubbles and shit, and I'd love to add more shit like that. It's just that I have very limited time to edit videos. Like, some time of the day goes to actually making them, and I have very limited time to actually sit there and edit them. And if I had no job, I could sit and fucking edit videos all day, and I could deliver stellar content to you guys, which would really help the growth of my channel. So that is the dream. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll reach it. Could happen. Anyway, and secondly, how happy are you for Ragefest 4? I know I've missed it. Ragefest is not that high up on my priority list to watch, I'm afraid. I did partake in one of Marky Joe's videos, and I've earned a lot of subs from that, so I'm happy I did. And it was an enjoyable experience. I'm not saying it's boring or anything, but the thing about Ragefest is that you really have to have been around on Marky Joe's channel for a long time to enjoy that shit. There are so many inside jokes, so much internal humor, so many like nicks and nods to the pasts. So I can imagine if you've been a Marky Joe fan for like 5 or 6 years and you watched the first Ragefests, you really... you really would enjoy that, and some of his Ragefest videos gets a crazy amount of views. So it is a popular series. It's by far Marky Joe's biggest success, and but I must admit I don't really get that much out of it. I think that some of the maps are a little bit too tedious, and while they make me chuckle, they're very hit and miss. The best ones are really good, but the bad ones are really bad. So yeah, as I said, very hit and miss. Anyway, I hope you continue to help out the Fire Emblem community like you have been. Thank you. P.S. Where is my Marissa? Alright, there she is. Hope you're happy. She can grace the rest of the mail segments. Alright, so this next mail comes in from a guy named Marco, and he says, "Hey Mangs, first of all, I'd like to say that I absolutely love your channel. I personally have only been subscribed for a few months, but since I have nothing to do with my life, I have already watched lots of your Let's Plays. I have a few questions that I hope you can answer. 1. What is your opinion about the Disgaea series, and in any case, would you consider making a Let's Play of the games? I think I watched like 1 video of it, and aside from having some cute girls in it, I did not really particularly find it all that interesting." So no. Number 2. If you could create a new class for the next Fire Emblem game, what would it be and what kind of stats and weapons and skills would you give it? Well, this is a cool question because you may have heard me talk about this pirate-themed Fire Emblem hack that I want to make, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to make it, but if I did, I would include the addition of guns. Like, not your modern guns, not like sniper rifles and AK-47s, but kind of medieval-era guns, like blunderbusses and muskets and shit like that. And basically they would replace bows, so I would also make some new classes that could wield guns, such as maybe call them marksmen or musketeers or gunners or something like that. And essentially how guns would work, I guess this is more for like a new weapon type than it is a new class, but I guess it's very similar anyway. And essentially how I would make the guns would be that they wouldn't use strength to deal damage, they would use skill, and they would have very low hit rates, so skill would be very important when using guns. And there would be two types of guns. There would be rifles and handguns. And handguns would have 1 to 2 range, so you could fire them into melee, kind of like hand axes and javelins. Whereas normal guns or rifles would have 2 to 3 range, but they would get a range penalty at max range. So if you fire from the range of a longbow, you get a small penalty to hits and maybe damage as well. I don't know. But yeah, I would make like 2. I think I would. Since it's like a pirate-themed hack, you would fight against a marine, kind of like an empire that uses marines, kind of similar to One Piece, where they fight against the marine. And the marines would basically be using rifles, and the pirates would mostly be using handguns. So yeah, hope that answered your question. I guess I talked more about the new weapon type than I did a new class, but that's as far as I've gotten so far. Anyway, number 3, what Pokemon would you say is your favorite? I was always a sucker for Jolteon. I really love Jolteon. I'm a big fan of Eevee in general, so whenever I play Pokemon, I like to go full Eevee team if I can, having Jolteon, Flareon, Glaceon, Vaporeon, Espeon, Leafeon, Umbreon. I also am a big fan of Glaceon. Glaceon is a really fucking cool Pokemon. So yeah, Jolteon, and then maybe Glaceon, and then Vaporeon, and then possibly Flareon, 4th. Umbreon is my least favorite of the ons, so to say. Anyway, let me say once more that I love all your content in your channel, and when it comes to a character spotlight, I'd really love to see Nino get one, since she is my favorite character of all time. Thank you very much for reading this mail. You're awesome in every way. Well, lucky for you then, there is a Nino spotlight up. I'm not sure if you've seen it, you probably have. This mail was written on the 7th of December, so I posted my Nino spotlight a little bit later. So in case you haven't though, I'll throw a link to the Nino spotlight, but that should make you very happy if you haven't seen it yet. Anyway, thank you, Marco. Alright, so the next mail comes in from Lucina the Time Traveler, and he's even included a cute little picture of Lucina right here, so we'll put that up on display. Feel free to send me some art, by the way, if you want me to show it during the mail segments. Would love to see some Fire Emblem fan art and shit. Anyway, Lucina says, so we meet again, Merry Christmas. It's not Christmas yet. You're nearing 5,000 subs, so congratulations. Yeah, I should probably reach it maybe before the new year? Maybe? That's kinda ambitious, but we'll see. So, I wanted to ask some stuff, because you're like amazing or something. Also, expect good grammar from me, because I'm a formal smartass, so deal with it. Hey, it's the exact opposite of teasing, I like it. 1. Will we be getting the Nintendo NX? I heard it's meant to get like 12 million units produced in 2016 alone. Sounds like they're really trying to push the console. Well, will there be Advanced Wars or Fire Emblem games on it? Then yes. If not, probably not. 2. What advice would you recommend for starting YouTuber? Don't expect it to be my channel, just to friends. I answered that last week, actually. The exact same question. So I'll just do a TLDR version of it. Get a good microphone, get a good recording program, try to make something that's original, or at least not super popular on YouTube, and try to be entertaining. Don't be a boring person. Anyway, number 3. Would you be interested in console gaming? Wii U, Xbox, PlayStation. Yeah, I do like consoles. I just don't have any personally, because I'm a big fan of the PC. I do have a 3DS though. I guess that's treated as a console, I suppose. And I will be making some Let's Plays when I get my capture cards. So yes, I guess so. Anyway, number 4. Have you seen any footage of Fates yet, except for the trailers? Sadly, I spoiled myself on the first 6 chapters just before the split. Yeah, I watched one video of Camilla's boobs. That's about it. Aside from that, It's not so much that I try to avoid spoilers, but I actually haven't been that interested in the story itself, so it has been pretty easy for me to avoid it. 5. What type of celebration will you be making for 5,000 subs? A lap dance and blowjob from Luis would be a very nice celebration, but I'm guessing I'm not going to get that. I don't know, I haven't really thought about anything, to be quite honest. I'm bad at like celebration videos, I really am. When I get a good idea, when it pops into my head and I really want to make the video, it's something else, but when I like feel forced to make one, it feels really weird. I don't know, I guess I'll figure out something. Don't expect anything amazing though. Anyway, alright, that's it, I think. Thanks in advance for answering. Also, the subject of this email was your mom, in case you haven't noticed. Love, not literally, not gay, Lucina nerd. Ah, thank you, Lucina. I love you too, even though you have no tits. Alright, so the next mail comes in from a guy named Monasteer B, and he says, Hi Mangs, I've recently found your channel thanks to the likes of Markijo and French Frugal, and now I guess you could say I joined the Mangs train. Ah yeah, choo choo! Your channel really made me like / love some of the games you play, mainly Fire Emblem, with your incredibly positive attitude, at least in videos. Okay, yeah, I'm not nowhere near as positive in real life. An informative style of commentary. I have a couple of questions for you to maybe answer. 1. How did you get into making videos? Alright, Cyril's big brother, he's called Zayu on YouTube. He made a Let's Play, and that was really the first time I saw a Let's Play made by an average person. I've seen Let's Plays before, but they weren't as big back then. I think this was like 6 years ago. And he made a Let's Play of a very old game called, I think it was called Legends of Thracier or something, I can't remember, but it was a very like old DOS video game with really pixelated graphics. And I remember watching this Let's Plays, and I was like, hey, I can do that too. I mean, he's just sitting there playing a video game, and he's talking into a microphone. I think I could do that too. And at that point, I really wanted to show Cyril Fire Emblem, and Cyril told me that, Mangs, if you ever make a Fire Emblem Let's Play, then I will watch it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. So I actually made a Fire Emblem Let's Play just for Cyril. I wasn't really intending anyone else to watch it, really. But Cyril then linked it around to some friends, and some friends started commenting, and suddenly, little by little, new names started popping up into the comment section, and by the time I was done with my first Fire Emblem 6 Let's Play, I think I had like 57 subs or something, and that's really how it all started. From there, I started doing other Fire Emblem games, and my channel really just grew really slowly, extremely slowly at first, and then it started to ramp up over time. So yeah, 2. What would you do at a larger subscriber count? Exactly the same. I don't see how having 5,000 or 50,000 subscribers would change anything about this channel. I made this channel in a certain way, and it seems to appeal to certain people. If I changed the way the channel is, then I think a lot of my previous subscribers would be pissed and maybe unsubscribe, so I wouldn't want to do that. I want to ride the wave of success that's caused my channel to grow, so you can't, like, of course you will see new things and stuff. I'm not saying that it will be the same old things, like Mangs Monday every Monday and the occasional Let's Play. There might be some new revolutionary videos coming out, I don't know. But the style of the channel will never change, at least that's what I like to believe. I'm not going to make any promises, but that's at least what I hope for. Alright, anyway. 3. Were there some video games that made you cringe at the thought of them? No, not really. I mean, why would I cringe? I mean, if a computer game is bad, then I guess I'll just don't play it. I mean, Dual Strike and Awakening made me cringe a little bit because I expected a lot more from them, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that was a nice answer to your question or not. Anyway, I really hope your channel grows into a beautiful community where everyone respects each other, and I wish you good luck on the future adventures, or misadventures, in your future Let's Plays. Signing out, Monasteer B. Well, yeah, I really also hope that my channel stays positive. I will continue to ban toxic trolls. Like, that doesn't mean I ban people who are mad or something, but if someone comes onto the channel and start attacking someone else, then I'll just ban them. So if I do that, I hope I can keep the community fresh and entertaining. We'll see. Alright, thanks for the mail, dude. Alright, so this next mail comes in from a guy named Ethan, and he says, Dear Mangs, hi, I'm one of your subscribers. You might see me named as Ethan Pelps. I don't comment very often, but because I forget, but I'll try to do so more often. Yes, please do, Ethan. I got hair from Markijo when you co-commentated with him during Rage Fest. God, another one. Seriously, I get so many fucking subs from Markijo. It's insane. It's also pretty cool to see somebody has a different view on Swordmaster/Myrmidons. I do like Swordmasters/Myrmidons. I love the class. I think they're really cool. It's just that they're bad. So don't think I hate them. I just think they're really bad, because the more you play Fire Emblem, the more you realize how important the enemy phase is. And units that can't do anything on enemy phase sucks. Anyway, they're actually my favorite class. Yeah, they're up there with mine too. I also have some suggestions for the character spotlight. Marty, Shiva, Guy, Cormac, or Seahark. I think none of those guys are really guys that I've considered doing spotlights on. Shiva is kind of cool. Maybe I'll do one on Marty. I do like Marty a lot. Maybe Seahark too. I don't know. I'll think about it. Now for the questions. All right. Number 1. Is it weird for me to think of you as a friend? I just have to read that again. Is it weird of me to think of you as a friend? You know, I've never really met you in person. I think that's a little bit oddly phrased. I think you meant to say, is it weird for me to think of you as a friend even though you never met me in person? Yeah, super weird, dude. You need to go get help. Go speak to your shrink. You're suffering from something. No, of course not. I mean, when you watch someone's videos over a very long period of time, you do feel a certain connection to that person. It's kind of how YouTube works, in my opinion. It's very personality driven. When you invest something into a Let's Player, you watch a person's videos daily, you naturally grow some sort of attachment to that person, because that person is part of your daily routine. Even though that person doesn't know you personally, it doesn't mean you can't look at them as a friend, because there's someone who's like, what is the definition of a friend anyway? I mean, does it have to go both ways for it to be a friendship? I don't think so. I think a friendship is just that you have a connection with someone, and whether or not that person has that connection back with you, you know, it kind of varies, but I don't think it's weird at all. I also have people that I consider friends, even though I've never met them in real life. I also talk to some of my subscribers, gotten good friends with some of my subscribers as well. I wish I had more time to talk to everyone, but I sadly don't, so those of you who have me on Skype, don't be upset if I don't respond to your messages. I try to do it every now and then, but I wish I could sit for hours and chat with each and one of you, but I simply don't have that many hours in my day, so sorry. Anyway, number 2. Are you going to retry randomized Fire Emblem 7 or instead randomized Fire Emblem 8? I'm definitely going to randomize both Fire Emblem 7 or 8 in time, and that will probably happen within the next 6 months. If not, we'll see how long Fates takes to complete, but I think that since I already have a old Fire Emblem 7 randomized Let's Play, I think it's probably better for me to just do Fire Emblem 8 first, because I think that's the most requested. Fire Emblem 8 is a better game to randomize, in my opinion, because it has monster classes, which makes it even more hilarious. And it also has the benefits of all characters being somewhat viable, so you can pick and choose. Like in Fire Emblem 6, there's a lot of characters too, but a lot of them are bad. Fire Emblem 7 kind of suffers from the same thing. There's a lot of characters there, but some of them have really limited availability because of the story modes. Like, for example, if you get Wrath, you don't get him back until, like, super late. So, I think Fire Emblem 8 is definitely on the top of the list, and then Fire Emblem 7 after that. I'm definitely going to do them both, though. Number 3, do you watch any crime shows? I used to. I used to watch a lot of The Shield. I love The Shield. I also watched CSI. I watched Cold Case. I watched Cops. That was kind of cool. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of crime series, actually. I'm not sure if those are actually labeled crime, but they have police in them, so I suppose. But yeah, I do like crime shows. I don't watch many these days, though. I don't watch a lot of series in general. I haven't really been watching any series since Breaking Bad, like 2-3 years ago. Anyway, 4. Would you be willing to commentate with Marky Joe in Rage Fest again? Yeah, hell yeah. If he wants me on board, I'm all for that. I want to do more co-commentating with Marky Joe. I got a shit ton of subscribers from him, so naturally, why wouldn't I? And Marky Joe is someone that I consider a good friend. I talk to him on Skype a lot, and I also am a big fan of his work, and I think he's an excellent YouTuber, so I'd be honored to be part of whatever he wants me to partake in. Anyway, thanks for reading, Ethan. Thanks for mailing, Mangs. Okay, so this next mail comes in from a guy called The Silver Glitch, and he says, "Greetings, Mangs. I found your channel a few months ago from a mention on Mage Knight 404's Fire Emblem 9 Let's Play, I believe. Oh, really? He gave me a mention? I was not aware. Or maybe last year's Fire Emblem E3. And from when I first saw a video of yours, I immediately started to enjoy your content. On top of that, the more time goes on and the more inside jokes I get, it gets better and funnier to me, which is great. Yeah, that's kind of how YouTube channels work. As you get like, as you kind of feel like you're part of the inside jokes, it gets a lot more funny, which is kind of one of the really cool things about YouTube. Anyway, for a couple of weeks now, my arm has been incapacitated due to an accident, meaning I can barely play anything. Oh no. Even Fire Emblem is a pain to play, but your videos really help keep me entertained every day. Although, admittedly, your Advance Wars videos do make me wish I had my arm freed quicker, because I want to play that game a lot all of a sudden. But I'm just rambling now. Aw, man. Is it just your right arm or your left arm? Or is it both your arms? Because you can play Advance Wars with one hand, although it's not optimal. I'll give you that. Anyway. A couple of questions. One, what is your opinion on the concept of edgy characters? Jafar, Kellic, Fire Emblem 7 Carol. I don't think Fire Emblem 7 Carol is edgy at all. I'm asking because I know Mel / French Frugal loves taking the piss out of them, and I'm interested in hearing what if you think they're cool, dumb, or meh. Well, if you go watch my Last Promise Let's Play, you will get reminded a lot on my viewpoints about Kellic's character. I really fucking hate them. They hit a special nerve with me. And the thing is, I don't mind a douchebaggy character at all. I don't mind evil, crazy characters that has no empathy for people around them. But it's just something about the way characters like Kellic are written. I mean, the thing is, I'm not sure if you watch Naruto, but Kellic is basically, I don't really know if Blazer is aware of this or not, like if it was a conscious decision, but Kellic is basically a copy of Sasuke from Naruto. And if you don't know who Sasuke is, basically, I'm not going to spoil any big Naruto events, so basically Sasuke is a guy that had his entire family murdered by his brother. And this is not really a spoiler, you get to know, you get to hear it quite early on in the series. And he gets his entire family murdered by his brother, and as a result, he's very bitter, and he only lives to take revenge on his brother. And he is also very cool and edgy and strong. And, you know, despite being surrounded by a lot of cool friends, and, you know, a lot of girls that love him, he has a lot of people that really has his back, he still only focuses on this fucking revenge, and he's, like, edgy and rude to people, and, you know, despite people just trying to be nice to him, he's just a fucking douchebag. And that's exactly how Kellic is as well. Kellic is just, he's like, I am Kellic, I am so tough, but I also hurt inside because bad things happened to me when I was little, and now I am edgy because my life is really sad, and I'm gonna be rude and insult you now, because I'm Kellic. Like, oh, it's like, grow the fuck up. Like, grow the fuck up. Okay, sure, you had a traumatizing experience. Just grow the fuck up, okay? Like, just because you had something bad happen to you as a kid doesn't mean you get to go around all life being, like, fucking edgy and insulting people or just trying to be nice to you. Like, I think what really made me hate Kellic is one of the dialogues he has between Siegfried, where Siegfried is basically, like, he's very polite to Kellic, and the Kellic goes, like, yeah, fuck you, and Siegfried goes, like, what the fuck is your problem, or something along those lines, like, what is your issue? Like, why are you being so idiot? And he's like, that's none of your damn business, get out of my way, old man. And that's like, dude, why are you acting like a little fucking shit kid? And from that moment on, I just knew Kellic was going to be like Sasuke, because I immediately drew the connection between him and Sasuke, and I was like, oh god, it's going to be one of those characters. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just going to rant in circles about this, but I really can't place my finger on why I hate such characters, because I don't mind characters with flaws. I don't mind douchebaggy characters that treat others badly. I don't think every single character should just be like a happy-go-lucky, joyous fellow who only treats people right and all that shit. You can have evil characters, that's fine, but there's just something about those edgy characters that really rubs me the wrong way. And you might think it's because I met people like that in real life, and no, I really haven't. That's not really why. I haven't really met many people like Kellic in real life, and I'm really grateful for that. It's just, whenever I see them, the only things I can say to myself is just grow the fuck up, grow the fuck up, grow the fuck up, grow the fuck up, grow the fuck up. Stop acting like a little shit kid. Anyway, I have to continue now, or else I'm just going to be stuck in this evil cycle of ranting. Number 2. Who was your favorite combat unit in Fire Emblem 9, and who was it in Fire Emblem 10? And then who was your favorite character personality-wise in both games? Because if I asked for looks, then I know you'd say Nefni. Yeah, I probably would. I really like Nefni. Although I liked Heather a lot as well, like looks-wise, and Mia in number 10, because of puberty and boobs. Combat units. Oh, it's been a while since I played Fire Emblem 9 now, so I have to go back and think. In Fire Emblem 9, I think it was probably Makalov. I really liked Makalov in Fire Emblem 9. There was just something about his tankiness and quickness that really got me. He was like strong, fast, and tanky, which is a really cool combination. Like, I really liked Makalov. I remember like just something about his character that made me really, really like him when I saw him for the first time. His dialogues with Marcia is fucking gold. And I just love his hair. I don't know, there's something about Makalov. He's very different. And I think that's why I was immediately drawn to him, because he's very unique. There's not been a lot of characters like Makalov. The closest I can think about is Trent from Fire Emblem 6. Or Trent, did I just say Trent? Trek from Fire Emblem 6. But then again, they're also very different in a way. Trek is more like weird and slow, whereas Makalov is more just a lazy bum, and I love it. And his interactions with his sister just makes him better. But now I'm just talking about a lot about his personality. But his personality made me use him, and after I started using him, I really started liking him because, as I said, he was strong, he was fast, and he was very tanky, and I really liked that. In Fire Emblem 10, I think it's Edward, because Edward was consistently good throughout the entire LP. He started off really good. I got an absurdly good Edward, and he just kept being extremely good. And he was also good towards the end, and he just kicked ass throughout the entire LP. And yeah, I really enjoyed using Edward. Personality-wise, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I gotta say Makalo in Fire Emblem 9. In Fire Emblem 10, I don't know. Who was... Nobody in that game had a good personality, in my opinion. I don't know, Skrymir, maybe? Skrymir was kind of fun. It's even more fun because Ray voiced him. Skrymir, maybe. Skrymir made things happen. His reckless personality gave openings to a lot of cool things. So that's cool. And looks, well, yeah, you didn't ask for that, so... But I'll say it anyway. Nefni. Number 3, slightly random, but what things about Fire Emblem 4 would you change? I'm not sure if I might have talked about this before. If you might have talked about this before, but Mel's LP made me see how broken the game can be, and knowing the substitute run will be coming back makes me curious to hear your thoughts about it. Ooh, what I would change about Fire Emblem 4. That's like, I could make a fucking video about that. But I'll try to like summarize it very briefly. If I made like a patch that fixed Fire Emblem 4, the Shin patch did a lot of things right, but because it's full of bugs, it's not very enjoyable to play, and I also don't think that the Shin patch fixed a lot of the things that really needed fixing. I think the first thing you would have to do is you would have to nerf mounted units a little bit, maybe reduce their movement a little bit. Perhaps, I don't know, I wouldn't remove Kanto, like their ability to move after attacking, because that's a really cool part of Fire Emblem 4 that I really like. But I think that perhaps giving all mounted units -1 movement across the board would do a lot. Just to, you know, and maybe also buff the stats and growth rates a little bit of the foot soldiers, so that they actually are a little bit better in combat. Most of them are better in combat compared to the cavalry, but not always. There are some cases. I think you would definitely have to nerf holy weapons, which the Shin patch also did, by the way. The holy weapons are much too strong, and the holy blood characters in general are way too overpowered. Shannon needs to go. He really is way too strong. So some of the holy blood characters are just cheat mode, blatant cheat mode. I think like someone made a comparison. There's not a single enemy in the game that Shannon can't defeat, like one-on-one. He just wrecks them all, statistically. And that's boring, you know. Nobody likes that. I think, yeah, he struggles a little bit against Julius, but that's it. So yeah, reduce the strength of the holy blood characters, probably a good idea. And I think just overall increase the difficulty, I'd say, and make, instead of just buffing the stats of the already present enemies, I think that adding a couple more enemies every now and then would be nice, and perhaps I would actually change the terrain a little bit too. I would add some terrain and I would remove some terrain, like for example the forests that's in Chapter 2, where you, after you kill Gandalf and you go on to kill that Dark Bishop, in the forest where Sigurd meets Theodora. That is a fucking pain, because you have to move your entire army to a fucking wood-infested territory, and it takes for fucking ever. I would cut out some forest in the middle there so you could move through that place. And I would also I would just generally just fix the map design a little bit so you don't have to move all of your fucking units so goddamn tediously. So aside from that, I think Fire Emblem 4 is a good game. Yes, it's easily to break, and it is also, you know, very, like, if you know it's pretty simple, because you always know what the enemy will be doing. But still, I don't think I would try to change it too much. Anyway, sorry for the absurdly long letter. It may be difficult to answer in short-time questions, but thanks for making great videos for all us viewers, and I look forward to seeing you play through Midnight Sun whenever it is fully released. As that was one of the first things I saw so you play through, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Sorry about that. Saludos, my regards in Spanish. Translation just in case. Muchos gracias. Is that? Yeah, I think I said that correctly. Muchos gracias. From Silvestri Cachucius, the Silver Glitch. Alright, thanks, dude. Alright, so this next mail comes in from a guy named Rewind Sync, and he says, Yo, Rewind Sync here, and I've been a long-time viewer, only subbing recently. I fell in love with your smooth voice, fun mannerisms, and how you fail at Simple Edition, like me. I just thought I'd ask you a few questions about stuff, so here goes. Number 1, how many bad units would you say to use per playthrough? E.g. a lot in your Fire Emblem 6 run. I usually say one unit I really like lots, and can be carried by supports and other units. This is just something I wanted your 2 cents on. I personally, I don't think you should only use good units, and I think you can certainly use bad units. Like, this is how I play, right? Take Fire Emblem Binding Blade. I've completed that game roughly over 15 times in hard mode. I think about 15 to 20 times I played through that game. And I made it a personal quest of mine to try and utilize every single character in that game. Like, play with every single character in the final mission, so I could get the good ending for all of them. They're basically their prologue, their epilogue, because if you bring someone into the Dragon Temple, you get their full epilogue instead of that just little shortened version they get at the end of the game. And essentially what I do is I sit down and I build my team from the scratch. Like, first I include units that I have to use, such as the Lord, and I need a thief, and I need a healer, and shit like that. And then I go over like my composition, and I pick my spots based on my promotional items. So for example, let's say I'm gonna play a game of Fire Emblem 6, and I sit down and I go, okay, I want to try and use Noah and Trek for this game as my 2 cavaliers, because I always use Alan and Lance, and I would like to see how Noah and Trek work out, right? Okay, so I'm going to use Noah and Trek. So that means that that's 2 Knight's Crest right there. So I probably can't run with any Knights, because I simply won't have any Knight's Crest to spare, because you get your 3rd Knight's Crest so goddamn late in that game. Okay, so who does Noah and Trek support with? Okay, Noah supports with Fear, so I'm probably going to run with Fear, because they have a pretty quick and easy support. Trek has a support with Gonzalez. Okay, that's pretty good. I like Gonzalez. Okay, so I'm going to include Gonzalez then. So now I have an axe user, I have 2 cavaliers, and I have a sword user. Okay, so that's pretty good. I should probably bring a mage onto the team. What mage should I try? I'm going to try using Hugh, because I very seldom use Hugh. So okay, Hugh is going to be my mage, and I sit down and I build my roster from scratch until I have a team of about 10 to 12 people. So that's how I think you should sit down, and I don't think you should necessarily like think about who is bad and who is good. Just use whoever the fuck you want to use, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, there are very few characters in Fire Emblem that are unusable, that are so bad that they can't be used. I mean, the only thing that comes close is like fucking Daisy or something from Fire Emblem 4. You know, most characters in Fire Emblem are viable if you train them. They may not be as good as the better characters, but they can still be used. It's not like they're just gonna die. So use whoever the fuck you want, you know? And try out new characters. Don't play with the same ones all over again. Try out new characters. If I were to play a game of Fire Emblem 7 right now, I would go like, okay, Fiora. I almost never use Fiora. I always use Florina, because Florina is so good. But I'm going to try to use Fiora this time around, because I want to see how she can turn out. Then I'm going to use Hawkeye. Okay, cool. I'm going to use Hawkeye the Berserker, because I think he's cool. You know, stuff like that. Just sit down and decide who you want to use. Fuck if they're good or bad. Just use them. That way your replayability will be fresh every time, because you try out new characters. And that's why the randomizer is good, because you can try out new things all the time. Anyway, Number 2. Also, do you have any public presence on social media like Twitter? No, I really don't. I've considered making a Facebook page. Maybe. That might be good for my channel. But the thing about social media is that I feel like social media doesn't really increase the popularity of your channel. It's kind of like it's already for the diehard fans. Because if I made a Twitter or a social media account, I'm betting like the people who would follow that would be the diehard fans that are already watching everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's always cool to have a platform where you can talk with your subscribers. But I kind of feel like that's what Mangs Monday is for. Mangs Monday is my platform and basically me giving back to you guys. Reading your mails, showing you shit. I put a lot of work into Mangs Monday. Probably about 5 to 6 hours of editing into every single Mangs Monday. It takes a very long time to make. So I kind of feel like that's my platform. I don't know. I feel like I just don't see myself making a Twitter account or a Facebook page now. But maybe sometime in the future when my channel gets even more popular. I don't know. Anyway, number 3. If you could rate your squad in Fire Emblem 6 randomized, who would you put in your top 10/top 5? Well, I roughly have 10 guys, so it would have to be top 5. These can be for their utility as a unit, or if they just rubbed you the right way. Clarine. Well, Clarine certainly rubs me the right way. Top 5? I don't know, man. Number 1 probably gonna have to be Lou, I think, because even though Lou's not the strongest guy in my squad, he's been consistently good. Then I think on a very close number 2 is probably gonna be Rutger. Because he joined awesome and he just promoted into something awesome and stayed awesome. And I think number 3 would probably be Chad, because the moment Chad promoted, holy fuck did he get good. Oh my god, he was so fucking awesome. It was kind of slowed down by the fact that the game doesn't sell lightning tomes until very much later, so he had to go around and just heal for a very long time. And number 4, I guess we could say Percival. Even though he joined kind of late, he fucking wrecked everything the moment he came in. And number 5, this is a tricky one. Probably gonna have to say one of the bards, Clarine, simply because she has a lot of utility and she has great supports. Maybe actually Volt would be better, because he supports with both Sue and Roy. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to make a top 5 list in that sense. Anyway, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are there any Let's Plays you regret doing, be it the time recording, or if it was just disinteresting to you? Yeah, I regret starting some Let's Plays. I regret starting my Planescape Torment Let's Play because I feel very bad that I didn't continue it, but it is a game that is really fucking hard to Let's Play because it's so text heavy. But there aren't like any Let's Plays that I've... Like, if I regret making them, then I would probably put them down. There are some Let's Plays that I've uploaded, and I go like, this is awful, and I just delete it. Not that hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened a couple of times where I just upload an episode, I'm like, this isn't fun to watch, and I just take it down. If there are any episodes up on my channel that are so bad that I cringe when I watch them, I would delete them, because I have certain standards for my channel. Anyway, number 5. Oh, right. He didn't number these questions, so I had to number them for him. I can't think of any more. Thanks for doing great content. Love you. Bye. Did I do a good job as a senior royal cock-stroking advisor? Oh, it's that guy. Yes, you did, sire. Stroke my royal cock. Yes, that Let's Play will be returning soon. Alright, so the next mail comes in from that guy, you know, that guy, and he says, Dear Mangs, will you read this letter? Thanks in advance. Yours, sincerely, that guy. No, I won't. Moving on. Alright, so the last mail of today comes in from a guy named Alex, and he is saying, Hi Mangs, I'm a big fan of your channel. I discovered and got into your channel by your Fire Emblem 12 Let's Play. I think you deserve a lot more attention because your channel is so entertaining. I wanted to start making Fire Emblem hacks, and I wanted to ask you to be the main character, but you already answered that. Anyway, could you answer some of my questions? Alright, sure. Number 1, if I make you into a boss, would you mind being a sage? I'd rather be a paladin, or even better, a duke knight, but I guess I could be a sage. I never really identified myself as a sage. Whenever I played Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, I would never play a wizard class or anything like that. I would always play a knight, or I would play a guy with, like, as long as my guy has a big sword, that's the character I always play when I roleplay with my friends. And, yeah, so I don't know if I would be able to relate to a sage, but if you truly want to make me one, then go ahead, I guess. Okay, number 2. Do you think that ranged swords, a sword version of javelin hand axe should exist? No, I don't think that would make sense. We already have magical swords, and I honestly think that a ranged sword would be silly. I mean, how would that work? Throwing sword? There aren't no such things as throwing swords. You have throwing knives, but that's something else. So no, I think that would be kind of bad. I do agree, or I do think that hand axes and javelins are way too overpowered, at least in the Game Boy Advance games. I kind of liked them better back in the day in Fire Emblem 3, where they had like an absurd weight on them to balance them out a little bit. I think that javelins and hand axes are way OP, and either they should be nerfed or swords should be buffed. And I think that Fates is doing a very good job. At least, I don't know how the hand axes are going to work, but javelins can't double attack in Fates, so they're significantly weaker. But they're, like, the thing is, you still want to equip a javelin, because it will allow you to retaliate on enemy phase. So no matter how much you nerf the javelin into the ground, or the hand axe into the ground stat-wise, or regardless of how much you buff the sword, you're still going to run into the problem that retaliating on enemy phase is so valuable that they're still going to be good. Even if you like cut their hit rating in half, they'll still be somewhat decent. Everything is better than just standing there with a sword in your hand and not being able to retaliate. So yeah. Number 3, are we ever going to revive Fire Emblem 6 Redux? No, I'm not, because I am already doing a Fire Emblem 6 Let's Play now, and after that I think the channel needs a long break from Fire Emblem 6. There are so many other games I should play. I can't just play Fire Emblem 6 over and over again. 4. What do you think about the Dead Rising series? Yeah, not a massive fan. They're not really my cup of tea, but they're good games, or yeah, games. I think you're talking about the games, or yeah, I'm pretty sure. Number 5, would you recommend Tracia 776? I just got the English patch version, and I'm debating whether to play that or Fire Emblem 6 randomized. You should definitely play Tracia 776. If you played Fire Emblem 6 before, then don't play the randomized version. Go play Tracia 776. If you are the person to read guides, you can watch Model Omega's Tracia 776 Newcomer's Guide. I'll throw a link to it in the video description. You can play along with that, so every time you load up a new chapter, you can watch his chapter walkthrough. It's really fucking good, and I actually recommend it. I wish that I had delayed my Let's Play until I watched his guide, because honestly, and I'm actually planning to do. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a Let's Play of Fire Emblem Tracia 776 because I've already done one. Maybe I'll just play it off screen, but I really want to play it alongside his guide because his guide is amazing. But yeah, go play Tracia 776. You will not regret it. Or maybe you will, actually. It is kind of a terrible game sometimes, and it can be very mean towards you if you're very unfamiliar with the old school Fire Emblem games. And that one in particular throws some nasty punches at you, for that a new player could have some difficulties with. Anyway, number 6. Do you think early game pre-promote should be either like Jagen or Seth? Like Jagen, of course. Seth is awful. Seth can fucking solo the game. No characters in a Fire Emblem game should be able to solo the game by themselves. That's just fucking ridiculous. Seth is beyond broken. His base stats alone can take it. Like, I do believe, I think it was it Don Don and Mecha? I can't remember if it was Don Don and Mecha or someone else that pointed out that in a 0% growth run, Seth is still viable in the final chapters because on his base stats alone. Like, he's not like, he can't solo the final chapter, but he can get pretty far into the game without getting a single level up and still be good, because his base stats at fucking base, he can still like double almost every single enemy in the game or something stupid like that. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, away with the sets, bring back the Jagens, please. Fire Emblem 1 Jagen was the best Jagen. I'm not even kidding when I'm saying that. Anyway, number 7, lastly, what do you think about skills, like Soul and Luna, etc.? I think the skills are really good. I think that skills were at their greatest in Fire Emblem 4 and 5. I think that those kinds of skills were the best, although I don't agree with having Pursuit as a skill. That's why I like Tracia 776 best, because it had skills, but it removed Pursuit and just allowed everyone to double attack based on speed. I'm not really a big fan of Awakening style of skills, and it looks like Fates will follow Awakening in its footsteps pretty much with some slight adjustments, so yeah, there were a lot of stupid skills in Awakening, like Gale Force. Ugh, fucking Gale Force. It's so broken, it's stupid. What were they thinking when they designed that skill? And by the looks of it, it's gonna be in Fates as well, so fuck that shit. But yeah, I think skills are fantastic, and if I ever got into hacking, I would actually kind of enjoy going back to Fire Emblem 6 and 7 and the older games and actually add skills on the characters. You know, I would add Adept and Outdoor Fighter on Lyn. Hector would have Charge, Resolve, and Wrath. Oh, that would be awesome. Ellie would have like Awareness and Adept. Sane would have like Gamble, like the Kieran skill, and maybe also Wrath, maybe. Kent would have Awareness, because he's like, oh, you know, that would be really fun. I think skills really add a lot of uniqueness to characters, because when you don't have skills, then the stats become the focal point of a character. Whereas if you have skills, or even in Tracia 7.6 case, where you have movement stars, PPC, and leadership stars, there's so many other things than just pure stats that can make a character useful, and I really like that. More depth and more complexity to Fire Emblem is always good. And I sadly think that the game is kind of moving away from that now with Awakening and Fates. They're kind of like simplifying the game, which I really don't like. Anyway, thanks for answering my questions, Mangs. May the Bard train continue forever. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we had time for in today's episode of Mangs Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and a comment. It really helps out the channel a lot. Remember that you too can send me mails at mangsandzerul@gmail.com if you want them read out on the show. But you do not necessarily have to send me questions. You could also send me things that you want me to showcase, either on the news segment or maybe even a featured Let's Play. If it's good, I might just showcase it. We'll have to see. We'll make no promises. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. As always, my name has been Mangs, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Goodbye.